How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Anubis VR, and today we're actually going to be playing a different game. We're actually going to be trying out some blade and sorcery. Now, I play this game a lot in my free time, but I'm going to be taking you all a bit through some play game through of it. Now, what is blade and sorcery? Well, first and foremost, it is a sandbox-based medieval fight simulator. And don't mind the mod there. There's a wide range of different versions that you can do for the actual fights and everything, but I'm just going to start us off with the basic 10 wave. Now, as any good sandbox, it requires gear. But in this case, weapons. You got everything from your daggers, your swords, axes, even magic and bows. Now, personally, one of my favorite weapons is right here, the writing sword. Now, the writing sword itself is actually quite basic. It's only a single hand blade, but at the same time, it's good, sturdy, and reliable. But as a good backup, you can never go wrong with a shield, or, in my case, if you kind of prefer it, a dagger. Now, most times I don't usually go for the regular dagger, and we'll get into that here in a moment, but it is one of my favorites. Now, like any good game, though, there's a level of modding you can go through and do on this game. And in such, there is many good mods, but there are two that are my favorites. Well, technically three, but I can't show the third one because, copyright. The first one is called Beam Sabers. Now I'll get into these weapons here in a moment, after a round, maybe two. And then the second one, let me find it, here we go, is Halo Weaponry. My favorite weapons, specifically, are the UNSC M90A shotgun. For the Covenant, where'd you go? Here we go. The plasma rifle, and the energy sword, specifically Bloodblade. Here's why. Beautiful color. However, unfortunately, I will not be using this weapon, at least not for this round. Now, I've given enough with the drum roll. Let's get in to the gameplay. Now, I do not have the music actually on in this game at the moment, purely because I do not know if the music itself is copyrighted. Here we are. Now, this is one of your basic NPCs. As a bandit, or a regular person, I should say. Now, the regular AI for these is nowhere near as advanced as you will get to the later on levels, or even some of the modded people that you can run across. But it is still pretty comparable in terms of combat for you to actually get some practice in. Like, say you want to get used to blocking IRL, at the very least with some kind of idea as to how to actually hold the weapon and everything else. It kind of works. But the fun part is whenever you get into the actual combat. Now, there's one thing I forgot to mention about this game. There is spaghetti physics. And as such, with any game with spaghetti physics, there's always a way to kind of exploit that. Oh, by the way, there also is magic. I'll get that later. Now, part of the thing with spaghetti physics is you can do all kinds of amazing stuff. For example, just knock them flat. But it can get even better. Tally-ho! For example, now I showed the bit with the spaghetti physics. We'll get into the actual combat. Now, a bit of a heads up with this game, if you do actually plan on playing it, it is definitely not a game for anybody of a younger age. And allow me to show why. This is why. Yes, it does include actual death and everything else like that, including dismemberment and beheading. So, just make sure to watch for that. For example. Actually, you know what? I keep on saying for example, but let me just get into it for you. That is my example. Anyways, now me personally, when playing this game, I will admit my darker side tends to come out. Sorry, that was one of my usual weapons. There we go. My darker side tends to come out. So, let's just go through a little bit and just give y'all some gameplay for a minute. Finish this round off. Hold that. You didn't hold it. I got your shoulder. Don't worry. One of the issues that I've had with this game previously is the hitboxes, if I'm being completely honest. But at the same time, sometimes it doesn't really matter all too much. Does it? No, it doesn't. Just let me, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyways, that's kind of the breakdown for the regular weapons. Now we'll start getting into the fun stuff. Now for these weapons, I'm going to go individually based off the mod. So we're going to go for beam sabers. Now, there's definitely a wide range of weapons here. So let me start with least favorite to most favorite. Least favorite off the bat, unfortunately because of how, despite how, I should say, unique it is, unfortunately is this one, Jormungandr. I like it, but there's one issue. It's really, really unwieldy. It responds very poorly to reactions and everything else. So while I do like it, at least on the quest side, probably not the best. Maybe better for PC VR. Let me just get that. It doesn't fly far enough. Next would probably have to be, unfortunately, most of the two-handed weapons. I'm not going to really spawn them in because you can kind of get a good example of what they are based off of what you see here. Starting off next with the... Honestly, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Sorry. It is not exactly the best wieldy-wise. Same thing for Ragnarok. Now, there is one that is two-handed that is not strictly a blade. It's actually really good, and that's Thanatos right here. This one I actually will spawn in, or actually I will equip it. Now, this one is actually exactly what it looks like. A laser sight. And it actually is fairly wieldy, but you definitely got to get some practice with it. Otherwise, it's kind of gonna go sideways for you, literally and figuratively. Next, we have the Metatron. Now, it's kind of in the mid-ground, kind of like Thanatos. It's alright. Finally, Shinryu and Zantetsuken. Apologize if I butchered that. They're good, but I prefer the rest of them better. Now, everything else, absolutely adore. But the three main weapons I go for are Remnant, being one of them. Think classic lightsaber, but here's the key thing about this weapon. Not only do you have it regularly, but if you use your magic while you're holding onto it and press the ignition, you can change its color. So let me go ahead and set it, there we go, to my regular color. Then we have my next favorite, which is, funny enough, the shield. Aegis, which every time I see it, immediately think of a TIE fighter. Ouch. Funny enough, though, this is not just good for defense, but it's also good for offense, considering the fact that, you know, you have a laser blade. So. And then finally, my all-time favorite weapon is a tie between these two. Now, I know that sounds kind of cheap to say, but it's true. Although, my personal favorite probably has to be Ares. I feel like I need to run from Kratos whenever I use this thing. Anyways, this is why. It's basically a smaller version of the scythe, but you can also flip it around and hold it whichever direction you like, even in reverse. Although I feel like that'd be a bad idea. So for this next round, I'm going to go through with 2 of these for the first 5. Then I'm going to go in with the remnant for the last 5. And this one, I'm not going to say anything for. I'm just going to go through and do it. Minus 1 thing. That's just your casual reminder as to why this video is going to be HD. Also, one of my favorite things to do with these, being perfectly honest, I'll just have not just do this. Damn. Remember what I said about the AI being kind of stupid? Yeah, this is what I meant. Probably should have also mentioned there is slow motion. That's fine. Slow motion can be easily activated by pressing the top button on your controller. At least from my side. Kind of walking on your buddy. Just kind of move here. Lost count. Here, hold that. And hold that, please. There we go. Come on. You missed even my weapon. I'm supposed to block. You're supposed to hit. Not good enough, though. Real quickly, if you ever want to make this game cinematic, I recommend listening to some music, but also learning to combine slow-mo and jump, like this. Well, that wasn't exactly the best example. Let me see, is there someone running out towards me? If so, I can make a really good example of that. Oh. Well, you're not exactly running out towards me, but... you know... For example, like that. You know, I think that actually was 5 and 5. Wrong button. My apologies. Now, we get into the final mod before I decide to just have a little fun. The Halo weaponry. Now, as I've stated, my favorite in here is shotgun. Favorite in here, plasma rifle. Favorite energy sword. Now, I didn't go over the brutes. is this boy. This boy right here. Gravity hammer. So fun. Now, I can't get this weapon for you to actually like show in the mod purely because, you know, copyright and all that. But if you get this mod, go for the RG blade. Anywho, let's give this a go. Apologies in advance to anybody that is squeamish, especially on this one. Because boy, oh boy, is it about to be very fun. Did you just say I shouldn't have come here? Buddy, buddy, buddy. You know what? Take a shot. Oh! Did you? Double tap.
On guard.
On guard. Okay. Yeah. God. Good old US of A. Gotta love it. Shouldn't have come away. See, you know, the big thing is about the Halo mod, as much as I love it, it's a bit too easy. But then again, that is part of the reason that they put in game modes for this mod. And I'm not gonna lie, I love them. Now, I showed off a bit of the mods. Time to have fun. And show y'all what I do in this game. I love having fun with slow motion. Let's switch that up. Remember what I said about magic, people? This is what I'm talking about. I shouldn't be where? You know what? Okay. Thank you. Your leg is mine. Let's do some Harry Potter stuff real quick. Swish and flick. Guardian Leviosa. Not fun enough. One last round. In a very special setting. But first, les weapons. This is my usual bread and butter. Oh, that's so fun. Alright. Hope you all had fun. Might do another one if it's requested. If it is requested, go through and tell me which weapon from here or from any of these you would like me to see, and we'll give it a go. See you later.